what do you see in Q4 2020 and first quarter 2021, both from an economy standpoint, but also as individuals? I mean, what should we expect?
Well, from our economics, if we don't get a really good understanding of how to control the virus, how to control the spread, which we already have some ideas, but we don't know how to stop it, then I could see this kind of self-quarantining mulling around going all the way through summer and into the fall, and then people being bracing for a second wave that could be very, very deadly. And so I've read a bunch of articles about Wuhan and Hubei and second waves coming. That would be scary. And if that's the case, then we're looking at, what I'm calling COVID depression, right? Just prolonged economic awfulness for maybe the next 9 months, right? Maybe all the way until next spring. Like maybe a year from now, we'll be like, wow, that was awful. Like, let's get things going again. That's a worst case scenario. Best case scenario would be getting a handle on things and having things starting to roll out a little bit in maybe late fall or end of fall, beginning of, let's say, November, something like that. That's probably best case scenario. In either of those scenarios, I think that the way the consumers are going to be spending and the kinds of goods that are going to be offered are going to be completely different than what we saw before. So, after 9/11, after 2001, the way we travel was changed 100%. Some goods that were being offered just weren't offered anymore. I mean, nobody thought going through body scanners was going to be the way of business. But 19 years later, this is what we do. We have to buy our water on the other side, or we have to bring a water bottle through, or and so there are limitations, and that's what it is, and we live with that. I think we're going to have to live with it in a different kind of a world. And so I wouldn't be surprised if, when this all gets said and done, that you're heading into, let's say, a grocery store. Let's say a year from now, you're heading into a grocery store, and there is right there a little box with the rubber gloves, right, and a mask. You're just like, oh, grab your mask, grab your gloves before you come in the store. And if somebody sees you without it, they're like, no, you can't come into my store without mask and gloves. Right. And you're just like, okay. And you walk in and you're like, okay, I got to put the gloves on. I got to put a mask on to go buy my Lucky Charms. Like, I could totally envision that that's the way the business is going to go, because people will say, we just can't take chances like this anymore. Now we always have to be vigilant.
Yeah.
I think that's a realistic model. And some places that we've grown to love just don't ever come back. So movie theaters, it might be that movie theaters just never really come back. People say, I can stream the movie, or the studios actually end up having release parties right to your house. So they say, okay, the new James Bond movie is going to be, released this Friday, so at 8 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, at midnight, at 2 in the morning, for $20, you and your friends can sign up, get your own popcorn, get your own blankie, sit down, and boom, there's James Bond for you. And you go, wow, I didn't even have to go to the theater. Right here. This is it. We just watched James Bond in our living room. I anticipate that we're going to see products that look just like that. Our industry is going to maneuver to make us safer, or keep us safe.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, Whitney, have there been any particular questions on Facebook that we want to throw Tom's way?
Yeah, so Stephanie, Kristen, Emily, you're all watching. A question: what way, and is there a way, companies and businesses can prepare for the future? So if we have something similar that happens like this down the road, what are some things we can do at this point to prepare for the future?
Tom, what do you think? That's to you.
Well, it would depend on it would depend on the type of company. I think that companies after this, if they continue to be diligent, then they will, in some respects, always be prepared for this. So if they say, okay, so here is our new set of rules. Our new set of rules are, you don't worry about coming to work if you're sick. If you're sick, you go home and your paycheck is still there. Now, you're going to get some bad actors. You're going to get people who are like, I don't feel like going into work on Friday, so I'm going to call in sick. But that happens anyway. So, but if companies just say, here's our new policy, like, you're feeling sick, you don't come in. We don't want people to be exposed to whatever it is you have. You have sick relatives, you go home, right? You take care of them. So maybe there's going to be more flexibility with respect to how we treat workers, how we treat workers' illnesses. Okay. But it also could be, by the way, like no congregating at the water cooler anymore. Does anybody have a water cooler anymore? I mean, but no congregating at lunch or whatever else. So, boom, this group takes lunch this time. This group takes lunch this time. This group takes lunch this time. And we've got 3 breakout rooms. Those are the 3 seats that we have, or those are the 8 seats. You go in, you eat your lunch, you talk to people, but then, you get back to your office, you get back to work. Just total social distancing, a way that people are interacting, but not face to face anymore. I could envision that as being the way forward. And so, like I would say, an ounce of prevention. So everybody starts becoming more diligent about this type of event, right, from a individual company's perspective. And then I could anticipate also that companies would be spending more of their resources to, let's say, try to, if they're being really thoughtful, say, look, it's great the way that we do these runs and we do these, fundraisers and whatever else. But now maybe the runs and the fundraisers are all set up for, okay, this is all going into sort of like pandemic research, trying to prevent us from being extinct next time. And so just all efforts are focused on, here's who's working in these areas. This is the kind of research that needs to be done. Let's give these people, the resources that we need. And so, I mean, I'm seeing that happen right now, where every chance that we're seeing our students, our MBA students, their funds are going towards the hospitals, their funds are going towards doctors, their class gifts are going towards, people who are on the front line of this. And so I'm already seeing people saying, okay, well, these people need resources, then we should just funnel our resources that direction. So I think firms being thoughtful are going to start thinking about, okay, how do I make sure that the people who keep us safe are taken care of?